Take a breath. Feel your heart. What or who does it beat for? Today is Free Yourself Friday, and I've been thinking about a lot of different things. I've lately been really all over the place. A lot of information coming in. So I've been thinking about fields. I've been thinking about what is the new earth and what's happening for us right now. Okay, so I put my computer out because I was going to try to organize my thoughts, but I'm just going to do it. So you might have heard about 3D and 5D. And if you're like me, you're like, what the heck does that mean? I don't even know. But I'm actually experiencing what it feels like to be moving to it. We're basically separating onto two different paths. There's going to be an ego path where we continue down the same road of what we've been doing, trying to, our ego being in control, not believing in God or a higher power, just thinking that we can do everything, and the regular control systems that we're in. So that our regular everyday life, nothing changes, you're in the same cycles. And maybe you're happy there and that's why you're still there. But a lot of us have been asking for more, like, what is this all that's real? And actually that's funny because that's the beginning of A Course in Miracles. That's where A Course in Miracles came from. People saying, this can't be all there is. And then that text, A Course in Miracles, came through them. And they were psychological scientists. I'm not sure exactly what type. Anyway, so that's A Course in Miracles, which has been really prominent on my journey. It's really my guide that's been keeping me on course. So today in particular, I feel very much like this, we really are splitting off. Like we're splitting off into two separate paths. And I've been feeling this for a while. And I think this is what they're talking about with the 3D and the 5D. So I've been feeling this for a while, and I've been really scared because I hear different things about, oh, you're not going to be interacting with these people. Basically, they're not going to be in your energy field anymore. They're going to be in their own separate energy fields. Kind of like the internet and AI, like everybody's in their own little bubble. It's going to be sort of like that, but really like two separate tracks is what I'm feeling. And that's where I'm getting this. Like my intuitive guidance, my guides. I don't really think of them as guides, but I do have guides because I have heard and feel things coming in, and I believe that I know who they are. They're people that I've admired and that have passed, and some people that are here are my guides. So anyway, I know I'm all over the place, and I do have a message, and this will be as centered as possible. It's about what it feels like to be in the new earth, because that's really essentially what they're calling the 5D, I believe, is the new earth. And it's also in A Course in Miracles. It's when you cleared all the stuff that's not you, and you know yourself as love and energy and as connected to and part of everything, and you know that you have this higher self that has this higher vision, and you step into that more, and then you get more of that, you get more of those experiences, you get more of that knowledge, you get more of that wisdom. And we're also in a point of alchemy where we're alchemizing all of our trauma and things that happen to us in life. We're alchemizing that into our gift to bring to the world. So that's where we are right now, in some form of that, in some layer of that. And we're, I think, in a place of dreaming it in now. So we're dreaming of how we want our new earth to be and what we want in it. And then that's going to come in the new year, probably around February is what astrology is saying. It's going to start to take shape in the physical world around February. But we're dreaming it in now. And so being in the new earth is all about flow. So So that's what I wanted to do the Free Yourself Friday on today is free yourself from thinking that you have to know how things are going to be. Oh no, I had it written down better actually. Wait a minute. It was free yourself from thinking that you have to know more than you do. That was exactly it. Okay, because whatever you know now is just your focus point. It's like the mandala. It's what you need to focus on in order to get to the next, to have the next step appear in front of you. And then you take that step. And you don't have to know anything more than that. You can plan, and you do want to have a vision of where you want to go. But in the new earth, it's all about flow and adaptation, but also boundaries. You need to have boundaries too. And the boundaries are what you will allow in your world and what you will not allow in your world. That's really how you create your boundaries. So flow, being in the moment and not having to know more, not free yourself from thinking you have to know more than you do. So whatever you know, you know. Whatever you don't know, you don't know. Okay. And is there anything else about that I wanted to share? The field. Okay. So I've been asking, in this transition between worlds, between the ego world and moving into our hearts and our spirit-led world, we're still human in the spirit-led world, but we're whole, we're sovereign. I'm a sovereignty coach, and I help people to integrate polarities, because right now, if you can see, there's so many polarities, which I love. I love integrating polarities. But the world is just showing you all these polarities now. Males and females, haves and have-nots, blacks, whites, or whites and everybody who's not white, which is pretty much everybody if we're going to be real. So all of these polarities that people are, Democrats, Republicans, all these polarities that people are fighting over, all need to be able to coexist and integrate. And really, they mirror each other in so many ways. So the anger and the outrage is not helping us, but helping us get in touch with our own personal power. And so if we can use it and alchemize it into power and direction as to where we are feeling most drawn to, where our energy is most drawn to, which also comes from our history and what our wound was. Okay, back to the field. So I talked yesterday about fields in my video yesterday. And they relate to the quantum field too, but the energetic fields that we are in, energetic families. So as you integrate all the different parts of yourselves and alchemize your experience into your gift, which is what we're doing, you become more sovereign and you start to attract your tribe. Who are the people that you're going to be working with? And that's bringing in the new earth. We're going to be creating these communities, and they're going to start like small communities, and they're just going to grow bigger and bigger until they all interconnect. That's the new earth. So in terms of the 3D and the 5D, those are like where we're dividing and splitting off now, is the people that are still working with the ego and still really, haven't awakened yet, are still really in that control centered. And that is the difference too. So that's like external control. And here over on the new earth, we have this sovereignty, this internal control that regulates us and balances us and keeps us in balance with everybody else. So that's really that's one of the biggest differences between the 3D and the 5D. If you haven't had an awakening yet, and you will know if you did, it's kind of, I would say, a rude awakening. It's when you realize that everything that you've been doing is not working, and or it worked for you for a while and it's not working anymore. It's because you have put something out there into the universe that you're looking for, and you can't get it in the environment that you're in. So it's not anything external to you. It's something that you asked for, that your soul is longing for. And it's not, sometimes the form changes radically, but it's always following where you are inside and what you're calling for, what your soul is calling for. So I'm saying that because I think we can be fearful about these things, but it's all your highest good. And in my story was that I had devoted my life to marriage and family therapy, like learning everything I could about how to be a good family, how to be a good mom, how to have a healthy family, how to be a healthy person, and tried so hard, pushed so hard for everybody in my life to be that, so that I could have everybody could be happy. There would be no scapegoating in my family. And what ended up happening was I had to get a divorce. There was scapegoating. It wasn't pretty, like a lot of the time. It wasn't how I wanted it to be. I didn't ever have family dinners, which is was one of my major goals. And I realized that I realized a lot, but I heard my awakening was, I just kept hearing these songs, but they were speaking to me. It was like they were right up close. This Is Where It Ends was one of them. And it was like, and at the same time, my spirit's telling me, you have to end this relationship. It's hurting you now. And I had to get a divorce. And when I was going through that, one of the first messages that I heard auditorily was, I heard it like, and that doesn't really ever happen to me. I maybe there was like one other time that happened, but I heard, you thought if you did everything right, you would be loved. And I was like, what? Yeah. And what's going on? I'm not, like, so how's that fair? And I was like, I didn't know what that meant. I went to therapy, and I'm like, I told my therapist, and she's like, well, we explored it, and it was a lot about attachment rather than connection. I was looking for connection, but what I had was attachment. And it was an old attachment pattern and an old trauma wound that I was playing out in my last relationship. And so then when all that was happening and I had to get a divorce, because I was like, I don't believe in divorce. I work really hard for marriages. I can help people have really good marriages. Why couldn't I do that for me? Why couldn't I create that? And so I was asking God, and what I got was this knowing of like, this knowing, and this wasn't like an auditory voice, but you do get the message from spirit, God, your higher self, whatever you want to call it. And the message that I got was, because I was like, what is real? And the message I got was, your love is real and it will come back to you. All that love that you put out in the world is going to come back to you. And so my scene radically changed, but everything I was asking for didn't. I actually received everything that I was looking for, but it came in a different form. It came in a new life, a new house, a new dog, a new boyfriend. But I'm happy now. I'm at peace now. This is what I was looking for. And we're still dreaming. We're dreaming in our new future. And my future matched his future. And my dog is teaching me so much. You know, like, life is teaching me so much. So you may be changing energy fields. The people that you have been in, it depends where you are on your journey, right? Like if you haven't had an awakening, you will have an awakening. And most likely it will be a rude awakening, and it will really rock your world. And let it. It's okay. Just let it. And this is why I give the guidance, okay? Because I want you to know you're okay. You're safe. And you can trust your higher self, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it. You can trust that. It's what you've been putting out there, what your soul's been putting out there as looking for, calling for. and you will receive it, but it may change the people that you're around. It may change where you are located in the world. It may change who's in your life. Let go of anything that doesn't fit anymore. And I talked yesterday about the fields of energy and how that works. So you can check out my video from yesterday if you want to know more about fields. But what I had been asking was, like, how can we navigate this change, this divide? We're going to have to step where we want to. I think right now we're being like, where are you going to be? You're going to be over here? You're going to listen to your spirit? Or are you going to keep going with the ego? And it's okay, whatever you choose, because you're going to get to the same place anyway. But if you're in that place and you're starting to step into your spirit, how can you step more into your spirit? How can you trust that? It is about being in the moment. It's about letting go of thinking that you have to know more than you actually know. It's okay to just be where you are. That's the only place you can be. So I had asked, how do you navigate this change? You know, how do you navigate like the world that we were living in and moving into the world that we're going into? And I guess the answer really is free yourself from thinking you have to know more than you do, and just let it unfold. Ask yourself, what do I know to be true right now? And even kind of take that inventory. I live in a house in a particular town. I have a career. I do this. I need to pay my bills, or I need to pay my bill today. I need to pay this bill today. I need to make myself food. You know, just go from the very basic of what is real and true for you right now in this moment. And as you start to accept those things, it brings in what you're looking for, what your next need is. This is kind of the Gestalt cycle of awareness too. It will bring up your next need, and then you can put that out there, and then whatever you need will appear when it's ready, in the right time. Because you might be putting a lot of things out there, and it all has its own timing. You're not going to get it all at once. So just notice that. I think that's probably all for Free Yourself Friday. But we're in a very exciting time period. Maybe I'll just do one of these Divine Beloved cards just for a little prayer for all of us in this time where we're transitioning. I was recognizing that I just kept fighting, because I was really fighting, like, and maybe this sounds weird to some people, but are my kids going to be in the 3D timeline or the 5D timeline? Because I really want my kids to be with me. And so I was really fighting for them, and that was creating conflict in my life. And last night I recognized that I didn't have control over that. All I had control over was trying to be the most loving mom that I could be. And my kids have their own path. So that's all I can say about that. And I guess maybe we'll get off path. You know, we won't be on the same path for a while, maybe. But we'll always come back together. Because we're all really going to the same place. Love. Love connects us all. Okay, so do we have a Divine Beloved card? I was trying to end at 20 minutes. Might be a little bit over. Okay. Nurturing. I am a spark of divinity. Change me, divine beloved, into one who accepts my body exactly as it is, seeing it as a vessel for your love. Fill me with gratitude for this physical form. Let me nurture and care for myself in every way. So it's coming back into your body. And your body is a temple. Your heart is a temple. That's where I think you want to just keep going to center yourself. So you can go out and expand into the world and explore, and then come back to that. Come back to your body. And let it guide you. And treat it like a temple. Love it, nurture it. So that's it for Free Yourself Friday. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you want to work with me, I have a website at lisareneeaubin.com. And I just wanted to say that about that, because I did say that we can co-create any kind of working together. But as a guideline for that, I charge $200 an hour, and so we could develop some sort of plan for whatever you wanted to do, but I will not take less than $200 an hour. So, and also that's kind of like, I know maybe some people don't talk about that, but I'm telling you that because that's how I want to be. I want to be upfront with people. I don't want to treat people differently. I want to treat people equally. And that is also, I'm not willing to accept anything less than that. I'm showing you a boundary right there. So that's how I set a boundary, like, and you can do that too. What are you willing to experience, and what are you not willing to experience? So that's it.